Hey fam, I want you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Roland S. Martin. And don't forget to turn on your notifications. All right, folks, I'm going to talk about this story out of Texas. Now, we told you the story before about Crystal Mason. She was a sister who went to federal prison, okay? She got out of federal prison and she voted. Now, she thought that she was able to vote. All of a sudden, they said, nope, you could not vote because you was convicted of tax fraud in 2011. Again, she was on parole at the time. Last year, she was convicted of voting illegally in March of last year. Now, her parole officer testified in court that she was not told that she could not vote. Now, by her voting, it violated her parole, so she was sent back to prison. Now, here's a new twist. Just as she was about to be sent to a residential detention facility, the district attorney in Tarrant County pulled up, wait for y'all, an old sewage violation and charged her with the crime. A sewage violation. So she couldn't be transferred out. Now, the DA, Republican, Sharon Wilson, is sitting here trying to keep her in. Now, earlier today, I talked with Kim Cole, Crystal Mason's attorney. She spent a lot of time on the phone today with the DA's office saying this makes no sense. This morning, they dropped the charges. Well, this is important because you need to understand that they're trying to make an example out of Crystal Mason. To sit here and to send this sister, who, yes, who was convicted of tax fraud, she admitted she did it. But she got out of prison, had a family, she was working, a job, she voted illegally. Sent her to prison for 5 years for violating her parole. But to have a DA file a sewage violation charge shows you exactly what the thinking is there in Tarrant County. I want to quickly go to our panel here. And Judge Robert, again, as an attorney, this shows you, one, how stupid these folks are in Texas. Okay, and I can say that. I covered City Hall there in Fort Worth. I know how Tarrant County government works. But to sit here and go find a sewage violation, that's 100% bullshit.
Well, I think it's not just Texas. That's the problem. That across the country, we have majority African-American districts where you have white Republican district attorneys and judges who dominate the judiciary, who dominate the prosecutorial ranks, who dominate law enforcement. And for that reason, we very often go into court not innocent until proven guilty, but guilty until proven innocent. So this is a clearing call to all of us that we have to get more people who look like us and who think like us into prosecutors' offices around the country, because without that, we have no way. The DA decides who gets charged, right, where or what goes to the grand jury, what the charges are against you. Prosecutorial discretion is at stake. We got to get in there and get in the fight.
I tell you, my brother did run against her in the recent election. I met him when I was in Fort Worth. He lost. But again, this shows you just the sheer arrogance of a DA to go pull a sewage violation charge.
Yeah, it's one of the, to pull a sewage violation charge, and not only, this is sort of a long-running consequence of the 13th Amendment and all of the things that have come that have held up Jim Crow. These are all these remnants sort of left over. And, you know, the fact that, I mean, they've gotten, right now, they're dealing with all of their voting fraud, like, oh, there's massive voting fraud with all the Texas Secretary of State and all of this, and they're trying not to deal with the fact that their state is radically changed in color, and that means it might be a lot of different votes cast that they don't like, who are the people who are in control of the state. So this tells you just how desperate they are to sort of, I don't know, I would say put people in their place.
Kim Cole, her attorney's on the phone, joining us right now. Hey, Kim, when you got word that they were trying to charge her on a sewage violation, surely your head almost exploded.
Absolutely, Roland. This is ridiculous. It is insane. I found out about this because Crystal is eligible for to be released to a residential reentry center. And so through this process, I guess they did a warrants check. And as it turns out, there was a warrant for a sewer charge.
Like, first of all, what the hell is a sewer
What
charge?
kind of sewage violation
What is
do you
that?
have? Yeah.
It's a violation for I guess a code violation for her sewer at her property.
A code violation. Now, this is the kind of
Typically
stuff.
not a criminal charge.
Civil.
So this is the kind of stuff that when you look at what happens, how cities, frankly, keep the poor by slapping on these type of charges. And what's crazy is that the DA didn't look at it and go, okay, this is stupid. No, she actually filed charges.
Yeah.
Yes, so Roland, this gets a lot deeper than you have likely have time for right now. But the warrant for this was, I found this out after the fact. The warrant for this was obtained on August 30th, which was the same date that Crystal had her hearing to revoke her federal supervised release. So the Republicans in Tarrant County wanted Crystal to go to prison. They wanted her in jail. So this was in my opinion, a fail-safe measure in the event that the federal judge didn't revoke her federal supervised release. Then they had this warrant hanging over her head so that they could take her into custody. So
that is unbelievable.
The warrant's been active since August 30th. Nothing ever happened. Nothing became of it because the judge did sentence her to prison time. However, now that she's eligible for supervised release, we found out there was this warrant that was that's been outstanding. No charges had been filed. And I guess now that they find out that she's up for release, they took it to the DA's office. And on Monday, the DA filed charges.
So you've been on the phone since then. So what's the status of Crystal Mason's case right now?
Right now, these charges have been dropped and the warrant has been recalled.
Okay. So will Crystal now be transferred to a detention facility?
She will be, she is now eligible to be transferred. There's still a process that she has to go through, but at least this doesn't block her or prohibit her from being considered to be transferred to a residential reentry center.
And how much time is she supposed to be serving in prison?
So the time that she's serving right now, she's in federal custody, and the judge in her federal case sentenced her to 10 months in federal confinement for violating the terms of her supervised release by obtaining a new charge, which was, in fact, the voting charge that she was convicted on. And on that charge, that conviction, she was sentenced to 5 years in state prison. So a total of 5 years and 10 months.
Okay, so she's going to leave federal prison. And then she's got to go to state prison?
Hopefully not. Her state case is under appeal. There hasn't been a decision on it yet. So once she discharges her federal sentence, if her state case hasn't been finally decided, she'll be a free woman until her state case has been decided.
Do you have any state legislators who are in your corner saying this is idiotic?
We're working on it. We're working on it. There is a petition going around, not only one to our governor, but there's also one to the district attorney because the DA's office can also commute her sentence.
The DA's office there in Tarrant County?
Yes, we can petition for the sentence to be revised, so to speak. She was sentenced by a judge. She did not have a jury trial. She had a bench trial at the advice of her previous attorney. She I guess, opted to not do a jury trial and was sentenced by a Republican judge who was just elected, by the way, re-elected with no opponent in Tarrant.
Well, it looks like in Tarrant County, somebody needs to be having opposition next time he runs. And I might have to be making a visit to the folks down in Fort Party Worth because this is stupid. to actually spend state resources to imprison somebody for 5 damn years for voting illegally is an absolute waste of state resources.
It is an absolute waste, Roland, but it is not about punishing her for a crime. It's about sending a word to all of the black people in Tarrant County who would dare show up at the polls. This is to send a message to the black community.
Got it.
Because Tarrant County is the largest urban district in the country, and they are proud of it. They have folk in check over there. I'll just put it that way.
Well, again, I spent time for 2.5 years covering City Hall there in Fort Worth, so fully understand. Kim Cole, we appreciate it. Thanks a bunch. Keep us abreast of what happened.
All right, folks, back to that Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
All right, folks, a lot of us, of course, are focused in 2019 on improving our health, trying to look better for whatever reasons. For some people, they have to. Others, it's about, of course, beach season once we get to the spring, but based upon climate change right now, it feels like right now is beach season. And so all those things are for a reason. People are choosing various ways to get healthy. One way, of course, if you choose to do full body cleanse. Folks at D-Herbs, one of our partners here, they offer a variety of full body cleanses if that's what you choose to do. I did it earlier this year, the 20-day cleanse, and they also have, of course, several that you continue to do. And so if it's about weight loss, if it's about overall well-being, you can try the D-Herbs full body cleanse. Now, all you have to do to support, if you want to try it, just go to DHerbs.com, DHERBS.com. Use the promo code Roland. You can also call their number, 1-866-4-D-Herbs. Remember, use the promo code Roland for the discount when you go to checkout.
Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.